Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti, and this is episode 21 of the Battleship Brawls Season 4 tournament. We've got the Wapen still making its way through the field as the active combatant. It is at 2 losses though, so if it loses another one, it will be eliminated. And the ship trying to do today is a new one we have not seen yet. It is the Slapdash by a nickel. Which, looking at it, it's got a nicely shaped hull, but in some, some superstructure here, some funnels, but not a whole lot of detail on it. Well, I guess, what is it? But it is kind of cool that this is a 5-barreled gun right here. A quintuple-barreled turret, 2 of them. And then 2 triples as well on the forward and aft sides. Down here it's got a big old bank of propellers, so it might be decently fast. And yeah, that's about it really. As far as looking at the ship, there's there's just not a whole lot to look at. Though I do need to mention here, I did want to make a nice shout out to a nickel, because he's taken over updating and maintaining the tournament mod that we use for this tournament, and he's been keeping everything updated, been making bug fixes and adding features that people request. Like the scrolling text thing was him, because there was a lot of times where you just couldn't see the name of the ship because it's too long. He also, like I said, he fixed a couple of bugs, made it work real nice, and honestly, without that tournament mod, I wouldn't be able to run tournaments this large. It would be such a pain in the butt to constantly spawn in ships. It's like I would not be able to do this every single day, Monday through Friday, like I do, without just being driven insane. So, thanks very much for that, a nickel. But as much as I appreciate that, that's not going to save you in the tournament. Not going to give you anything extra. So let's get this underway and see if that ship, if the Slapdash can defeat the Wapen on its own merit. You still got to win the regular way. That is a big old volley of shells coming in for the Wapen, and that looks like it's going to be a pretty solid hit midships there. If that had any sort of explosive to it, yeah, that made a pretty sizable hole. Let's see how the Slapdash held up to the Wapen's return fire. Ooh, the Slapdash got itself into a good firing arc right away, though this triple turret in the back seems to have been hit in the first volley and knocked out. Ooh, that volley got close to hitting the forward triple turret. But the main things are those quintuple turrets. Those are the guns. Those are the turrets with all the guns on them, and they are doing some serious damage to the Wapen. They are knocking down hit points like crazy. Looks like they also use some fragments, just like the Wapen's guns do. Oh, and that rear turret on the Wapen has been disabled. It is no longer aiming and firing. The Wapen is down to 93% health and used up almost all of its materials for repair. The Slapdash has some serious firepower. Well, that rear turret started to aim again and then immediately lost its ability to do so. The Wapen is now officially out of materials. It cannot repair anymore. Oh, what the heck? The turret here got scalped. Oh, and there goes the entire turret. It was... Never mind, it wasn't just scalped. It was completely beheaded. Wapen taking some superstructure hits there, but that's not going to do too much to it. It's definitely knocking down those hit points, though, and as we know, the Wapen has a... oh, the front turret here has also been disabled. So the Wapen has lost 2 of its 4 guns, which puts it in a very precarious position. The Slapdash is actually at 100% health, is out repairing the Wapen's DPS at the moment. Now it's the Slapdash is aiming a bit high, keeps striking up in the upper superstructure, not really doing anything. It's also probably because the Wapen is turning. That's also probably got something to do with it. Oh, that was a solid hit. Look at all those blocks fall off. I mean, it wasn't like the pretty much unarmored stern, but still. The Wapen is seriously damaged. The Slapdash, proving that it is not exactly like it's Slapdash makes you think like it's going to be a hastily thrown together, not very good ship, but it is doing quite well, in my opinion, in its debut battle. It's absolutely wrecking the Wapen, doing so much damage. Those shells just keep raining in a constant barrage. Oh, and there we go. The Wapen is starting to list. It lasted a bit longer than I expected it to be honest. See the Wapen there is a lot of solid stone right in the center. Probably to try and get the AI to pick a position in there to fire at rather than, you know, at the guns. Increase the probability that a shell will land in the middle of the ship, but did not help it in this battle. Ended up losing 2 guns anyway. And it's just getting absolutely pounded on. And it can't do any significant damage back. The Slapdash just keeps repairing it. I mean, it is at 100% health. It has no blocks destroyed and still has 7,000 materials left to repair with. Meanwhile, the Wapen seems to have gone dead in the water. It's down to 58% health, 57%. And I think its last functional turret just got hit and taken out. And with those shells, that will probably be the end of it. Yep. The Wapen is 2 damaged. And going to despawn. So a very impressive and dominant showing by the Slapdash in its debut battle. It made that victory look easy. Okay, I just noticed that the Slapdash is actually over the 225,000 limit, but it was... They made some changes which changed some block values, because it happened to the Overlord as well. It went over the limit, but it was definitely under that before... you know, when it was submitted. So, you know, it is what it is. I can't help it that they changed values after the tournament began. Oh. Really wish I could see the ships when I'm getting things in position, though, you know. Anyway, let's go ahead and get round 2 started. We'll see if the Slapdash just got some lucky shots in early on, which gave it some momentum to really kick the Wapen in the face, or if the Wapen is just that outclassed. Oh, that first volley completely missed. Let's see how the Slapdash takes the return fire from the Wapen. It took some pretty big hits there, lost 4% health. A turret blown completely off. Oh wait, no, never mind. It's not blown completely off. It's pretty much destroyed, though. I don't know if that's coming back. Oh, that quint-barrel turret there just got hit and lost all of its guns. Looks like an explosion may have... Yeah, it looks like it snuck in through there and damaged some stuff. It's still aiming, but doesn't have any viable firing pieces at the moment. A Wapen fighting back hard, not going down without a fight, that's for sure. And it's almost like it was embarrassed by its initial performance and making up for it in this one. Now this round, I feel like the Slapdash is kind of on the ropes because its front quint barrel turret there got disabled really early before it could do much. But as we saw, if the Slapdash takes out some of the Wapen's guns, the Slapdash can out-repair its DPS, so it might be able to bring that gun back online. And regardless, the Wapen is still out of materials and at 95% life. It's very close, except the Slapdash still has materials to repair with. Anything that happens to the Wapen from here on out will... where the Slapdash can make repairs. Yeah, a lot of shells are going for the center of the Wapen there. But man, those shells have some serious HE and fragment damage. Slapdash has a pretty nice turning rate. Makes it a little bit difficult to hit, but far from impossible. Oh, that rear turret just took even more damage. And even more damage. I wonder if the expensive innards, the pellets and stuff are okay, and if it's just the turret cap that's been damaged. Not sure. Slapdash at 96%, now that the Wapen can't repair it, is quickly falling behind in HP. Oh, and this rear turret just got disabled again. That is bad news for the Wapen. It needs to take out some more of the Slapdash's guns if it wants to have any hope of staying in this tournament. That gun, I don't think that gun is just, it's done. Well, I mean, it was done before because it couldn't make any repairs due to lack of materials, but you know. The Wapen definitely put up a much better fight this time, but unless something radical changes, its time in this tournament is looking short. Its days are numbered. Even if it were to just disable all of the Slapdash's guns at this point, I don't know that it could do enough damage to make up the deficit. It might be able to. There's still a lot of time left in the tournament, but it is not looking good for the Wapen right now. Though I suppose if it were to pop off all those turrets, that would be a good chunk of damage. So it's not hopeless, but the odds are definitely against the Wapen right now. Oh, especially if it's gonna list? No, like, most of its guns can't even aim now because it's listing so heavily. Yeah, that looks like it's gonna be it for the Wapen, folks. It was a strong ship, to be sure, just not quite strong enough. Oof, and there we go. That last strike actually took out the AI of the Slapdash. I mean, of the Wapen. And it is going to despawn, making the Slapdash the winner of this match and giving the Wapen its third loss. So it unfortunately will be eliminated from the tournament. So yeah, thanks for watching, folks. Check out all that description stuff: forum, Discord, Patreon, Hall of Beauty votes, all that fun stuff. If you think the ships deserve it, go ahead and vote for them. You can always change your mind later. The polls stay open for each ship until 1 week after their retirement. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.